connecting. Hopefully we are live. We've had a bit of a technical nightmare. Sorry everybody that we are a bit late. We are talking Ten Hag, what's happening next, what Jason Wilcox is doing, what his new orders are under Ineos and how Ten Hag is involved in them. Apparently though, Ten Hag has gone off on one big time in the dressing room this weekend. We're going to get into details on that and what Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail has been talking about. Some very intriguing articles in that Daily Mail from Chris Wheeler and what's been said over the weekend and now what is going on only one day after the carnage which was Wembley at weekend. I hope everything is working okay, guys. I hope you can all see me and everything is on as I hope it and says it is here on my stream, and we are good to go. We had a bit of a technical nightmare. No idea if it's all okay, but just let me know in the chat. But let's get into everything that is going on with Manchester United right now, guys. We had our morning say, we had the Tuchel news, we had all of the reports going on from there, and everything else that's come around Manchester United after what was a complete, oh, let's be honest, it was a complete and utter sham, shit show, whatever you want to call it yesterday. Everyone's had their say on everything right now, but going into reports on what is happening right now, Erik Ten Hag, and this is from Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail, everybody. So we're going to read into that and then we'll get your thoughts on this straight away. I didn't get much chance this morning to get you guys involved, so I am doing tonight. So get your comments, get your questions, get everything in the live chat, everybody, and make sure that you get your comments in when the live is finished as well, guys. Erik Ten Hag is said to have torn into the Manchester United players in the dressing room after they lost their 3-0 lead over Coventry at Wembley this weekend. Furious that Manchester United allowed the game that was under their control to get away from them. Angry. You see Bruno Fernandes has been talking about Erik Ten Hag and his future in the mixed zone yesterday as well. He was talking with Sky. Like, a lot was said yesterday, but there's also a lot more going on with other stories coming out from earlier in the season about player disruption, players falling out with each other. Dalot, Bruno, Højlund, three of the players that you really want to be working well and actually in, I won't say cahoots, but you know what I mean, working in harmony at least. Three of our so-called reliable players, they apparently at this season, at one point in this season, have been at loggerheads. There was a fallout after the Copenhagen game. Bruno took Dalot's side when spoken about, and when Højlund went to the staff of Manchester United, they told him to go and sort it out directly with Dalot himself. This, Ten Hag going into the players not listening to Ten Hag, that all looking like an absolute mess on the pitch. With what's coming up, Ten Hag is living on borrowed time right now. And I think we can all say, look, him losing the plot in the dressing room is one thing. It's good. Like, I'm sure all of us would have just been absolutely tearing into that Manchester United team at weekend. We would have been I mean, if you weren't reading the riot act to that Manchester United performance at weekend, then I'd question where your head is at. Like, I really would question it. It's got to a point in this football team right now in the football club, and why all these leaks are coming out of the news right now. Like, where's this Højlund, Dalot and Bruno story come from all of a sudden? It's like someone asked a question at weekend over the FA Cup game. Like, everyone is all over the place. Seems like people are falling out of each other left, right and centre right now, and it's just a complete mess everywhere. What the hell is going on with everything? I'm going to get into more details on that, but straight into the chat we go with MDR Samurai, who has just dropped 10 memberships. Thank you so much, mate. Absolutely love that. Hope you had a good weekend, apart from the football, obviously. Ricky Spanish, Trellino, James Wang, Karsten Nielsen, Charlotte in the Sunshine, Premier League in the know, James Cole, Jarvis Cocker, Jonathan Brooks, DB Cooper, and I think that's everyone. You are all brand new members of the legendary FUTV. You can join Mr. MDR Samurai this week. I think we're going to do an extra watch along this week, guy, on TIFO, which is invite only for the members. So make sure you get onto that, guys. I will let you know on that as soon as the video drops. There'll be a members video, a members post. Follow the instructions on there. If you haven't done this already and haven't been in on one of the watch alongs with us on TIFO, you've now got the opportunity to be new members, so please get involved in that. I think it could possibly be the City Brighton game this week, but yeah, that we'll talk about that when we get to it. We'll talk about our game on Wednesday when we get like 2 more days, guys, and we're right back into that melting pot. Like, where is this team at? So, let's find, first of all, what's been going on with Manchester United and the players. Like, this story from Chris Wheeler, like, what the hell? It blew me. Like, I was like, what? Where did this come from? Why? Do you know what the biggest question is? I just said it then, like, why the hell is this happening now? Like, is this just proof that Eric Ten Hag's time at Manchester United is over? Is this just saying everything now? Like, when the chips are down, Eric Ten Hag is done and dusted. Like, that, for me, I think is a clear sign that with all the leaks coming out about other issues that have gone on, like, who's telling Højlund to, like, go and sort this out himself with the other players? This is a young lad who's just come to Manchester United, and he's fallen out with the captain and one of the more senior players at the football club. Like, it goes to show, doesn't it? Like, and all of a sudden, as a United fan, you're looking at what Chris Wheeler said there, and then you're going across to that penalty shootout yesterday, and you're going like Rasmus Højlund celebrating with the fans on his own. He's just put United through to an FA Cup final, and there's no one anywhere near him. You start thinking all sorts of things, don't you? It's ridiculous, and I look at this and I go like that. With that, what Ten Hag has said, the leaks that are coming out, I'm putting everything together, and I'm looking at it going, it's just a man like walking his last steps in that Manchester United blazer, I think. Right now, honestly, he's apparently under review as well. I want to get your opinions on this as well. So, the other news and stories coming out is that Jason Wilcox now is started work at United already. He's in situ, and he's been tasked with one main job, and that is to review Eric Ten Hag. His training sessions, he's going to speak one-on-one with Ten Hag. He's going to speak to the coaches. He's going to speak to the players, Jason Wilcox. But he's going to be liaising back to the hierarchy at Manchester United, whoever it may be, Omar Barada, maybe Dan Ashworth when he comes in, if that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe we can expect that with stories like this coming out about Wilcox and the job he's doing. But most importantly, he's going to be reporting to the people at the top as to Eric Ten Hag's relationship with all of the players. Like, I think that's the important one in this, and I think that's where the tell is going to be. Like, they are looking at every... Do you know what? If anything, you can slag this club off for sacking managers and whatnot, but they are giving Eric Ten Hag the biggest opportunity here going. Like, they are giving him every single chance to try and turn this around with this team. Whether or not the team don't want to and the team is throwing him under the bus, there's nothing we can do about that. There's absolutely nothing we can do about that, but they are giving him every chance to try and turn this around. I just feel like it's just impossible, and he's got no chance of doing it. He's got no chance of turning it around with him. They just look like they're just not interested at all in what he's saying. There can be no instruction at all in their heads. They either ignore it or they're just thick. I'm not going with thick. They're from some smart lads, hopefully, in that team. So, yeah, I think there's selective hearing going on in Manchester United's team right now. Did you see Anthony cupping his ears at Coventry? Yes, I did. I made a point about that this morning. AED, thanks for the super chat as well, mate. I made a point about this morning. I was looking at the Harry Maguire after the penalties more like, and no one celebrating with Rasmus Højlund. That was probably more relevant to where we're at right now. Like, Anthony cupping his ears, like, it's people are saying, look, it's poor standards. Like, honestly, I'm not for it. Like, I think Harry Maguire did right in walking across that line and shaking the hands of every single Coventry player, because they deserved every bit of respect for that performance that Coventry put in. I think that, I would say, is probably more relevant. Harry Maguire stand out yesterday for me. I thought he was man of the match for United. I've made my thoughts clear this morning with how I thought Harry Maguire, one of our more senior players, thankfully one of our senior players actually stood up and actually did himself proud yesterday and the team proud. Like, he was the captain's performance yesterday for Maguire. I know he's not captain anymore, and Bruno wasn't horrendous yesterday. He wasn't one of the worst, but it was good that he actually showed some humility. He actually showed some professionalism, in my opinion. So I'm not really bothered about Anthony. I think at the end of the day, Anthony will look at that and go, did I really need to do that? It's Coventry, the Championship. They've just taken us right to the limit. No, you didn't need to do that. But it's happened. We're moving past it. Petulant, stupid behaviour from Manchester United players. We're used to it now, aren't we? We are used to it. But, guys, what do you reckon to First of all, like, get your comments coming in. If you haven't had your opportunity to say anything already, if you weren't on the show this morning or this lunchtime, then make sure you get your comments in on the game yesterday. What disappointed you the most from the game yesterday is what I want to know in the chat right now, guys. So get them coming in. Anthony Wisdom, I was happy for Coventry when they scored the 4th goal. When it was ruled offside, I felt a lot of sympathy for them. I have no connection with this set of players because they continuously let us down. I think you're echoing the thoughts and words of many, many Manchester United fans right now. Boxing Straight Talk says, people need to realise players don't get sacked, managers do. It goes with the territory. It's true, and that is the harsh reality. Leo says, is there any news on if Shaw and Martinez and Varane back for the final? There was rumours and some noises coming out that Shaw could possibly be fit for the final. Like, it's not really a problem area for me right now. Like I thought Wan-Bissaka did okay yesterday. I don't think he should be playing on the left still, but I think Dalot is ample cover there. And to be honest, I kind of lost interest a little bit with Luke Shaw at the moment. Like, I'm sick of the injuries right now with him. I'm sick of the inconsistencies. So I'm not too concerned with Luke Shaw right now. Like, I'm more concerned with the senior players in midfield and forward than anything else. Like, the injuries are a problem, but I don't think our biggest problem at Manchester United, as a United fan base right now, is the players that are on the pitch in terms of, like, defence, the injuries and stuff like that. Our issues are with players that are not performing to the capabilities or just reluctant to perform. That's, I think, the biggest issue with United right now. But, guys, what do you think to Wilcox coming in and Ten Hag having this so-called review right now? That's what I want to know as well, please, guys. Make sure you get your comments in. Like, looking at everything. Wilcox analysing that relationship with the players, I think, is the biggest thing to take from this. I mean, that is what I would be looking at close. I think this will be the end of Ten Hag. Like, the players now have got the perfect opportunity to throw him under the bus. And you know what? I'm not going to defend the players. Like, there's some of them that won't want to do that, but the ones that do want this to happen, and I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's plenty of players that are fed up with Ten Hag. This is their opportunity right now. They know that Ten Hag is living on the edge right now as Manchester United manager. It's absolute. It's just complete and utter carnage every time we go out on the pitch. No one knows what is going to happen. No one knows what the game plan is. No one actually wants to perform the game plan for Ten Hag. I just feel like these players right now are lost completely. They're lost in themselves. They're lost in where this club is going forward, and they're using it as an excuse to get out of this, like, right now. Like, Manchester United, like it says there at the bottom of the screen, there's an acceptance that Erik Ten Hag, no matter what happens, his job is untenable. Like, looking at this week ahead, guys, like, Ten Hag, Wilcox is in situ now. He's looking at everything. What access he will get, I don't think he'll get changing room access. Like, Carrington, working around training sessions, things like that. I think that's probably more important right now. Just the relationship off the pitch, because this is where the breakdown seems to be. So looking at Ten Hag, looking at what he's doing right now, the games this week, I think, are absolutely killer for Ten Hag. Like, the squad is on its ass. Like, Man United playing that extra 30 minutes at weekend yesterday in that semi-final, it's not going to help anything. Like, Wilder and Sheffield United coming to town. I mean, everyone loves to beat United. Sheffield United are done and dusted. The pressure's off. They're coming to United. They're going to go, you know what? Let's go out with a bang. That's what the look is right now, I think. That's what Sheffield United will be looking at right now. You know what? Go on. Let's just give Man United a go. Everyone else has. Why not us? That's how Wilder's going to be looking at it. He's going, go on. And then rallying cries. I don't know if you heard what Wilder was saying the other day. He's obviously called out. He's never known it to be as bad as Sheffield United. He's called out all the players. And you know what? What a perfect stage for everyone in that Sheffield United shirt just to turn up and go, all right, this is what I'm made of. Like, they're looking right now. Do you know what? This is an audition for the Sheffield United players this week. They're putting themselves in the window. They may be looking at these players going, I need to actually, probably, if I want to stay in the Premier League, I need to find a club. Like, I need to show what I can do. And let's be honest, United players are not going to stand in their way, are they? The way we're coping at the moment, the way we're shaping up, like, there's not a chance in hell that Manchester United are going to do anything like anyone else has done to Sheffield United. Like, Burnley spanked them 4-1. It's not only Sheffield United, it's now 3 points away from safety, Burnley, and Vincent Kompany coming to Old Trafford on Saturday. And then you look at the games past that, I don't think we'll beat Crystal Palace. I don't think we'll beat Brighton. They're the 2 away games. Looking at Newcastle at home, I don't think we'll beat them. And then you've got Arsenal at home. Not a bleeding chance. Are we ever going to see another win under Ten Hag if we don't win these 2 games this week? Like, this is where we're at right now. Like, the disaster which has been Manchester United post-international break, and supposedly the best international break that we've had in a long time. Players coming back, players fit, players getting game time, looking like everything was set up off the back of a fantastic win in the FA Cup against Liverpool. And the utter crap that we have been exposed to as United fans are just absolute. Like I said, I went back to yesterday again. Like, I've revisited that game yesterday so many times, and I'm trying to defend Ten Hag or find a way around it. I haven't got anything. Like, I said what I said this morning, and my opinion was this on the game yesterday. People going on Ten Hag's in-game management yesterday. The only issue that Ten Hag's got, and the only problem he had with his in-game management yesterday, was allowing that prancing pony Belfast Bebe to stay on the pitch. Like, he shouldn't have been starting anyway. Like, the substitutions he made, no issue. Bringing off 2 academy players who have done us proud this season to rest them ahead of a busy week. And in comes the experience of Anthony and Ericsson, and everything goes to shit. Like, that's inexcusable on the players. Ten Hag will take the flak. Ten Hag will take the fall. Like Boxing said there is only one fall guy. And unfortunately, it is going to be the manager, and a lot of the players will get away with it. Jose Mourinho has been talking as well about players that are still here. But we'll get into them in a minute, because I'm going to list them out, actually. He didn't give names, but I think it's quite clear who he means. And I'll give you guys the chance to guess them as well. Henry Long says, Hi Adam, Rashford went off injured in the semi-final. How will you feel if he's playing on Wednesday? I know how I will feel. Your opinion, please. I think you heard what I was saying this morning and tried to team me up with that one there, Henry, mate. Because I said this morning it will be an absolute sham if Rashford turns up on that pitch. If you walk off that pitch hobbling, then you're done for the week. Like, you don't come off that pitch. Like, the way he was walking off yesterday in that mix on, oh my God, like, please, everybody in the planet just feel sorry for me. That's how it looks to me. Like, he's injured. If you cannot run on the pitch, like, I'm not having it. Like, that for me is like a severe sprain or something like that. If you cannot walk there, then you're not fit for this week. I'm sorry. He's not playing against Sheffield United. I'd be absolutely gutted if he did. I really would. Anthony's antics made me cringe, says Akash with a super cheers for that. Akash, I know what you mean, mate. I know it is cringe-worthy, like cupping your ears to Coventry players on the side of who have just give their all and taking you to penalties, having been 3-0 up against them. And you were lucky to bleeding get away with it because of the VAR goal. Then you cup your ears. I know where you're going with that. I know. I understand your feelings on that one. I am just going to check through the other news that is in, because there's a lot coming through. Manchester United believe there are so many interesting and talented young coaches working in Europe, such as Thiago Motta, Michel Roberto De Zerbi and Ruben Amorim. Other managers such as Gareth Southgate and Graham Potter are recognised as fantastic characters and team... sorry, it's carrying on. And team players, but the questions there would resolve, among other things, around whether they have the personality to command that credibility within the dressing room. No, and no. Thomas Tuchel is openly accepted to be a top-level coach, but recent experiences at Chelsea, Bayern have shown he can be a difficult character, and while there is acceptance that all of the best managers are and should be challenging, United are keen to ensure that whatever happens next does not unsettle things even more, says James Ducker of The Telegraph. What is unsettling? What do we class as unsettling right now for Manchester United? Are we not already a bomb that's gone off? Like, there's nothing else that we can do that's going to unsettle anything anymore right now. Like, we are at the bottom. The only way right now, surely we can't get any worse. Like, I say that like I'm sort of setting myself up for that there. Like the worst case scenario for United would be to be completely out of Europe. Like, can you imagine finishing third and then finishing 8th or lower? That would be like the lowest of the low. Like, I mean, I'm going to put a poll up now. Right, we've got 6 games left this season. I'm just going to do this now so you guys can get involved. Because I want to gauge where you're at. Where's your confidence levels at? How many points will... Right, here we go. Let's test it out. Right. I don't know what to say in terms of like points. I mean, do you know what? On this poll here right now, so I've just put the poll up right now, everyone. Let me know what you think. It's hard for me to even do that quickly. But how many points will United get out of the last 6 games in the league? 6, 9, 12 or less. Like, if we cannot pick up 6 points out of them remaining 6 games, then... I don't think you can sack absolutely everyone at the football club, but that's where you're going to be at. That is where you're going to be at, isn't it? Like, the only game I've got confidence in us actually competing and scraping anything out of is the one on Wednesday against Sheffield United, because they are absolutely awful. That is the only game I can see us or feel confident in us actually getting something from. Like, I think the away games, like our record at Palace and Brighton, is absolutely shocking. Like, it's really bad. And then obviously our record against Newcastle since we beat. I think we've lost every single game since we beat him in the cup final last season. I think that's 3 in a row. I think it's 3. I'm pretty certain it is. No, it might have been... 3. So they beat us in the league. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. We've actually only had 1 win against Newcastle while Ten Hag has been in charge. It's mad, isn't it? It really is. It really is. Alistair, thank you for renewing your membership. 5 months a member. Do you think he deserves another season? Honestly, Alistair, right now, I'm going to put my honest cap on. Does Ten Hag deserve another season in charge? Like, it's hard for me to say because of the players, and I know the players have actually thrown him under the bus a bit and been absolutely disgraceful, but he's not helped himself. He's really not helped himself. So I would say Ten Hag, personally, does deserve another season, like, with the right backing, but he doesn't. He doesn't for me. Like, the way he talks is a man that belongs at a mid-table team. Like, I cannot stand the way Ten Hag accepts that that's a great achievement to get into 2 FA Cup finals. I said it this morning. I said, who is going to be counting runners up? Who is going to be counting how many times you made it to a final? All anyone cares about is what you said when you first walked through the door, Eric, which is how many trophies Manchester United win. It's about trophies. If Ineos are looking at that interview yesterday in the press conference, in that post-match press conference, not an interview, if they're looking at that, and they're looking at what they said and what Sir Jim said, like United need to be challenging for trophies, then they're looking at Eric Ten Hag and they're going, well, there's a guy that actually thinks getting to a final is an achievement. That's not winning a trophy. That's not good enough. It's as simple as that. Sorry, no. We're improving. Coventry only had 18 shots on goal. Yeah, they created more shots than us and decent chances in extra time as well, which is pretty embarrassing. Erica, who's been a member for 4 months as well. Give the manager more years. Is that being serious? Like, more years? Or a year? I'm not sure. Like, how many? That's the one. That's the key. Thanks for the super chats as well, Alien, on that one. His approach is crap with this bunch and his recruitment doesn't help. That's from Milan. GT11, he's so dull. I never watch him in any press conferences ever. he doesn't inspire much, does he? That's the thing with Erik Ten Hag. He doesn't convince you of a man that knows where he's going. He doesn't like inspire when he opens his mouth and talks. That's the thing with Erik Ten Hag. It really is. Adam, he spoke the truth. He will get slated if he try to be positive. He'll be slated. He'll lose. It's a lose-lose situation. No, you cannot say it's a great achievement. He's actually brought up Manchester United's history over the last 20 years in that same comment, mate. You cannot do that. I understand what you're saying, John, look, but you cannot come out and say, look, teams of the past have only been to the FA Cup final, 5 times? We've done it twice in 2 years. Oh, come on. Like, let's not get carried away with ourselves and what we're saying, Eric. That's below the belt. Like, that's not acceptable. It really isn't. Let's not compare ourselves to other managers that have gone past at Manchester United. Yeah, you could say like he has been better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been better than Jose, whatever. Like, some people would argue that Jose was a better manager for what he's won. Mark Lambridge with the super chat. Cheers for that, Mark. The way I see it, if you want to sell Rashford, then you should want to keep Erik Ten Hag and see what happens when we take away a big problem in the team. Honestly, like, I keep saying it, guys. If Tuchel's involved, I want Tuchel. If Zidane's involved, I'll have Zidane. Both over Ten Hag. Any of the others, I don't care. Ten Hag stays. I think both of the managers are better than Ten Hag. That's my opinion. And that's the only way. And this used to be exactly what Manchester United were all about. Always looking to improve on what you've got. If there's a better player, you get the better player. If he's a better manager, you get the better manager if the opportunity comes around. Especially in the situation we're in now. Like, it's not acceptable to finish where we are, to have the amount of goal output over both seasons for Ten Hag as well. Not just this season. Last season was crap as well. And he's had some good players. There's no excuse for how we're playing. There's no excuse for the injuries that are actually happening on the training ground either. Tuchel and Zidane are better than Ten Hag. And I would have either one of them over him. Anyone else, I don't care. I'd rather have Ten Hag. That's where I'll always be. Rashford needs to go no matter what. Like, he shouldn't even be brought up into the conversation of him working under another manager. He just needs to be gone, whether it's Ten Hag or not. Sooner or later, you've got to stick with the manager and get rid of the shite, or it's back to square one, says Glenn. No, I know, Glenn. I know. We're actually in a position right now where we can actually get rid of some players. This will be the first significant summer of outgoings that we've had in a long time at the football club. Like, because they have run their contracts down. That's where we're at. Like, contracts are up for all of these players. It's the perfect opportunity for the club to make that stance that we've been waiting for a long bleeding time. Like, out you go. Get out of the football club. Start making a stance against these absolute deadbeats that have been stealing a wage at this football club for God knows how many years. Guys, please like the video. We just passed over 200 likes. Thank you so much. Well over 1,000 in the room with us. Great viewings tonight. Thank you, guys. Thanks for getting involved. Make sure you are hitting that subscribe button as well, guys, if you are tuning in. I'm just going to tell you straight, guys. That's all I do. Thanks for agreeing, John. Get any questions you want into me? Anything that you want to know about from what happened yesterday? Like I said, I spoke with about 7 or 8 different journalists yesterday. I spoke with Clinton Morrison yesterday. Great insight into Sir David Brailsford, who he knows very well. He's close to his family. He is saying just to expect like standards to go up at Manchester United with Sir David Brailsford. Like, that's all I'll say. Like, he will not hang around. As soon as you blow your chance with him, that's it. Out you go. He will keep chopping and chopping until he gets what he wants and gets to the standards that he wants. And I was like, that's all great. Fantastic. This was before the game. And then obviously everything went south after it, didn't it? But like I said, and I said to Clinton, I said to him, I said, look, it all depends. And the fan base, we're all waiting to see what happens in the transfer market. We're happy with what he's done off the pitch so far. But I think the big decisions and the big judgment will come as soon as he starts opening that checkbook. And we'll see what happens then. Mourinho should never have been sacked. Player power won and have been winning ever since, says Liam. Back in the day with Woodward, it would always win, wouldn't it? Absolute joke with that man in charge. I think we've got to count our blessings a bit. Like, it's bad at United now. But at least we've got hope because we haven't got the useless idiots that were running this football club before still here. That's what we've got to look forward with. I think that's the positive we take out of it. I work within 2 foot of a Liverpool fan and an Arsenal fan. They felt that sorry for me. They didn't even slag me off. Like, the banter for us right now, like, they don't understand. And just remember, like, when you're getting the absolute piss ripped out of you by opposition fans, when you haven't got a counter-argument against any football fan because your team is so bad, just remember that when you're thinking about maybe salvaging a player or saying something about a player that you can think that you think could actually turn his career around at Manchester United. Trying to find an excuse for a player. Just remember how much crap they put you through. And when they're mopsing around on that pitch, not giving a toss about you, the fans, and the people that had to travel to Wembley at stupid kickoff times and get back again early hours of the Monday. Like, it's... Just let that stay there. Let that stay there with you. Let's not forget, they'll be getting a day off today. That's the annoying thing. And you know what? I understand the recovery times and things. It is what it is. And let's not forget, we actually won the game. Like, this is how bad it was. We're talking now like it's the end of the world and we're in a final. How only United could make you feel like that. Like, only United have got that in them to make you feel this shit, having won an FA Cup semi-final and booked a place in another FA Cup final. Semi-finals to an FA Cup final. Got that mixed up then, didn't I? How many seasons till you judge Ineos rebuild? 3 seasons, mate. Akash, like they said, in 3 years I'll be judging them. Definitely. I always give everyone, like players, I give 2 years. Always I want to see improvement after 2 years. I think that's a good leveler, I think. If the player's not getting any better after that amount of time, then he's clearly not going to last at Manchester United. So that's how I see it. Or an excuse for a manager who picks the players. Yeah, managers go with what I said before as well. Like, just remember, like, Ten Hag was the one that's been moaning all these injuries. Let's not forget, against Spurs and against Arsenal earlier in the season when we lost 2 games, we had Martinez playing. We also had Varane playing. He's the one who decided not to play Varane in the derby because he could play better football with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at centre-back. Like, he makes decisions as well. He's had a very, very strong bench in a lot of the games that he has lost this season, and he still moans about the injuries. Like, that is one thing I will not back him on at all. The excuse with injuries. Mark Robins' response yesterday to a question about playing more games than City and Manchester United this season already, and still having plenty to go, and managing that with a threadbare squad. Mark Robins got to the playoff final last season and was beaten by Luton on penalties. He then lost 14 players and had to rebuild again, only bringing in, I think it was about 11 or 12, I think the story was right. Stretched out, already well over 50 games in a season. And his words were to that. That's football. You get on with it. Don't moan about it. And he took his team to what, in his words, was a toenail away from an FA Cup final with Manchester City. Because that's what that offside decision, that VAR one for their 4th goal was. It was minuscule. It was tight. I had the monitor right in front of me at the game. It was like, he's going to give offside here. I can't believe this. He's going to give offside. And you know what? I think Kaz said it to me. She said, look, do you know what? Out of everything yesterday, VAR ruined an absolutely epic game, didn't it? It really did. Like, just get rid of VAR for the offsides. Because at least semi offsides are going in next season, and we don't have to judge on stupid lines. Oh God! Like, imagine being in that moment, the ecstasy to despair in 30 seconds, and oh God! Like, I was with a lot of people. I felt sorry for the Coventry fans because their team gave him everything, but you know what? They lost. United are in the final, and we're talking United. That game yesterday is done. Ten Hag's problems carry on into this week in handling this team and whether they can be arsed listening to him at all or carrying out any of his plans. Like, I am worried for Sheffield United and Burnley. Like, I really am. Going into the poll in terms of what you guys are saying, how many points will United get out of the last 6 games? 6 points, we've got 29%. 9 points have gone 32%. 12 points, 21%. And less than 6 points, 18%. 32%. Like, guys, even the 21% of the vote think United are going to take 12 points out of the last 4 games. Like, that's 4 wins, guys. Have you seen? I just lined up the teams that were playing. Like, credit to you for the confidence levels. Like, big up. I don't know where you're getting it from. I really don't know where you're getting that confidence level from. But, hey, hey, each to their own. And, like, if you think this team can do it, then, go for it. The only thing I would say in terms of why that might change for me is if certain players came back. I don't know if we're going to see Varane again this season or even in the United shirt again. Not sure about Martinez. I don't want to see him if I know that it's going to be rushed back for no reason. Like, the season could be over in terms of points and Manchester United getting anywhere by the time Martinez comes back. Like, make sure that he's fit, and if you got a chance of playing him in the final against City, that's what the target needs to be. Like, forget about bringing any of these players back in the league. The only chance I think these players have got in coming back in the league is if to get the right amount of game time if they know that they can be fit for the final. Like, otherwise, just end of season. See you later. End of season. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Full stop. VAR. Definitely, John. Hi, Adam. That was just embarrassing yesterday, mate. But where do we go from here? Ten Hag out and players out for me. Yep, a lot of people would agree with that, Rob. I think pretty much everyone in the chat today has said the same thing. Anublav, I think that's how you say it. Anubav, God, yeah. I was Ten Hag in, but after every match, my confidence in him goes down. I'm not Ten Hag out, but I can't back him anymore. I don't know why he picks Rashford every week. He is biased. Yeah, Rashford is the biggest problem in terms of who he is actually picking in. Great, I'm not as keen on that new stage name that you've got there, pal. What is face? Ineos need to publicly back Ten Hag or get their own man lined up for the second end of the season. By end of the season, what are we on here with more chats, guys? Keep your questions coming in as well, guys. If you got anything to ask me about certain conversations yesterday, what anyone was saying, or opinions of other people, I was talking to literally everyone yesterday. I was actually speaking with this will probably wind you up, but somewhat of a exclusive behind the scenes bit of knowledge regarding Marcus Rashford in terms of an interview he was doing. I'm not going to say who it was. It's not fair on them or who he was interviewing. Rashford, but it was for a charity, a Save the Kids or Feed the Kids charity, and Rashford was being interviewed, and he came to the interview with a Louis Vuitton cap on, and when asked by the interviewer to take the cap off, he said, I'd rather not. I've not cut my hair. I've not had my hair cut. Their explanation to taking it off was like, it's not really a good look coming in like a cap that's worth more than these kids' families will ever see is not ideal. And literally the guy interviewing him had to say to his seniors, like can we get him to take it? I've asked him to take the cap off, and someone else had to come in and tell Rashford to take the cap off. Like, God's sake. Like, honestly, that's everything. That's everything, like, right there. Like, gone. Like, I was just there, I was gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. It's just like you get to a point where you can't defend people. Like, you cannot defend anybody in that sort of behaviour. It's crazy. And yeah, he is that figure in this team right now that I feel is I think he's the height of the hate into right now. Like, I don't like to keep bringing him up. I don't like to talk about him. I don't think he's worth being talked about. I've said all I want to say, but I'm only answering questions and people saying certain things. Adam, any croissants going? No, Barry, there wasn't any croissants. Some nice cookies yesterday inside there. Wasn't too keen on the chili though. Carl says faked injury because he's got no heart. Rashford is living on another planet. Rashford turned up in a purple overcoat and hat smashing out Snoop Dogg. This is someone Garnacho is looking up to. I mean, you look at that and then you look at what Garnacho did with the social media thing. It's like Marcus Rashford is the most senior player at this football club right now. You've got a big group of youngsters, and some of them were stood on that bench yesterday. Like, what are they thinking in what they're watching? Like, it's crazy. Babs is in the chat. Well, that just about sums up Rashford. Arrogant and lazy. Thanks, Babs. Hopefully you're at the Sheffield United game. I think I remember you saying you was at the Sheffield United game. We're going to try and get Babs on to do a bit of a vlog if we can on that one, guys. I think with Rashford, he can't handle when he goes out of form and gets criticised. This season, just completely disillusioned with Man United now, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, where we were sat, the press box is quite close to the Coventry fans, so it was quite loud, as you can imagine, in that second half. But there were reports, and it was confirmed, that Marcus Rashford was booed off the pitch. I remember in the warm-up show, I was live at Wembley, and I was talking about who needed to stand up and who needed a big game. Obviously, Marcus Rashford needed a massive game yesterday on the big stage with everyone watching. He needed to turn up. The one thing I said that he couldn't do was being subbed off in front of the world in an FA Cup semi-final against the Championship side when chips were down. He didn't. He hobbled off the pitch yesterday. It was the most pitiful end to the game for Marcus Rashford yesterday, and he was booed off by the United fans. The fans that were actually still there, because in that second half, I'm not kidding you guys, like from where we sat, we could see the whole United stand section. So sometimes when you're in it, it looks busier than what it is. But from a distance, like, there were empty seats in the second half. Like, people had left at half time. I kid you not. Like, the fan base, like, they've got nothing to cling on to. And the fans that ran back in, you've seen the videos on social media, the fans that ran back in yesterday, like, one thing I am is, like, I will criticise the players, but when I'm in the stadium and the game is on, you back the team. It's as simple as that. You back the team until that final whistle goes. Then you go in on them. Like, you don't leave. Like, I understand people have to get back, kids are in school and things like that, but this was the second half. Like, and, yeah, again, like, it's a sore subject because, like, kickoff times and what United get in terms of being shafted, and fans are just giving up. Like, there's loads of fans that I knew just gave their tickets up yesterday. Some fans paid upwards of £400-500 for a ticket for that game yesterday. Like, they got their entertainment at least, didn't they? But yeah, some fans are just giving up on the players now. It's like the amount of travelling, amount of miles that a lot of these fans put in, week out. Like, it goes to show, like, the dedication to the cause that this fan base has got. Like, we know if we get it right, we have got a great football club here. And it's like Sir Jim said yesterday, after his marathon run, he got more steps in than Rashford, didn't he? He got more steps in than a load of people yesterday. Credit to Sir Jim Radcliffe for finishing the marathon, by the way. Wow, that is something. But then to go and sit next to that scumbag, and what a day he had, Sir Jim Radcliffe, yesterday. And that was something else, wasn't it? So, yeah, Sir Jim Radcliffe talking after that marathon yesterday. I think it was Gabby. Was it Gabby Logan? I think he was interviewing him. I can't remember now. He was just talking about United and what's needed. And he said that the fan base needed to be patient. Some people would have you believe that that is Sir Jim Radcliffe backing the manager. Complete nonsense crap, to be honest. No, it's not. That is Sir Jim Radcliffe telling fans to trust in the process that they are undertaking. And it is going to take time. Yes, it is going to take time. Like, someone asked me in the chat a minute ago, like, how long do you stay with Ineos and when do you start judging Ineos in their whole process of this? 3 years. I'll see where we're at in 3 years. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. It was quite funny watching the fans try to get back in after the fourth goal got ruled out. It was, Kaz. Quarter of the fan base still wants to see more of this under this manager next season. I try not to criticise Rashford, but he's really letting himself down now, says Boxing Straight Talk. See, there's a fan that actually wants to give the player a chance, but can't. That's just honest there, and that's where this fan base is at. That's a fan saying exactly what he feels. but it's indefensible. That's the problem. It's indefensible. Mark says, so what do you make of Rashford, and what would happen if that was you in your team? That's Mark speaking to Kaz on that one. Like, you would want some honesty from the staff, like, instead of being like blindly backed. It's like the disgrace yesterday was like Manchester United rushing Ten Hag through that press conference. Like, the protection that he's getting right now shows you exactly where he's at. It is an awkward one. You don't like to see people suffering like Ten Hag is, but he is really suffering right now. I don't think there's a way back for him, but Mark Robbins sat there for about 15, 20 minutes answering loads of questions. So I got my question into him as well. Ten Hag, like, literally hand-picked out 5 journalists by United's head of comms, and that was it. Short fire, gotta go, see you later. Well, no, you don't have to go. There's no bleeding rush. You're not going to get back any early. You don't have to catch a train. I've seen United coach driving down the bleeding motorway. No. It's just the way it is. Like, nothing gives you any encouragement. The entitlement is there within, and it's sad to see, and it gives you no confidence in this team. I just hope that Ineos changed the structure as well in terms of what access people get, how players have to talk to the media and stuff like that. It was interesting speaking to one journalist yesterday, and he was talking about how he thinks it might change with possible access for players with fan channels. So I'm just sorting out some electrics underneath my desk at the same time because things have gone a bit AY up. Oh God, it's a mess. It's a bloody mess. Yeah, fixing things on the go, guys. Sorry. Madness. Oh yeah, give up with that one. But yeah, it's mad. This season has been bad in so many different ways, though, hasn't it? It really has. It just feels like it's coming to the end it deserves right now. That's what it feels like as a United fan. It just feels like the end is there, and you couldn't have made up a more fitting end to a season for what it deserves. 300 likes in the bag, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you all tuning in. If you could just give the video a like, guys. Subscribe if you tune in for the first time. Make sure you hit our sponsors on them QR codes on the screen there. Bottom corner is the SofaScore app, the best football app out there, guys. Completely free to you. Just use the link in the description or scan the QR code. It is the best. Match stats, odds, player ratings, everything you need straight to your phone instantly. Fantastic and completely free. And yeah, talking about mental health, talking about health, optimally me, bringing the doctors to your home. The pressure you get at home to go and get your checkup done by the missus. It could be something as simple as that. Take a little simple blood test at home and get your results back in 48 hours, guys. That's optimally me. Use my QR code right there. Prostate test, fitness test, blood test, everything there that you would need to get done at a doctor's normally, you can now do in the comfort of your home and take the stress and anxiety away from having to go to the docs or the hospital. Scan the QR code down the left-hand side, guys. Optimally me with my QR code discount. Get your packages and get your tests there that you need and feel like you need to take. I think the only thing wrong with me right now is, like I said, someone said in the chat there, mental health. Like, this club puts you through absolute, what's the word I'm looking for? It puts you through the grinder, doesn't it? It really does. And you're just hoping for that little bit of something back. Like, we are all going to be having to renew our season tickets by the end of next week. And that, I think, is... that's the painful one, isn't it? It's like, you've got the optimism of, like, what Ineos are doing and what's to come. I think that's the best thing in all of it. That, for me, is what we've got to look forward to, like, the change. What Clinton Morrison said to me yesterday, like, Sir Brailsford, like, just wait. Like, he will change things with Sir Jim Radcliffe and what they're doing. He will change things at United. You will be back. See, that's little things like that, them little glimpse of hope that we've got. That's what's important to all United fans. Something to cling on to. That's what we're looking for right now. It is. Liam, welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Thank you so much. Guys, if you did want to contribute or join the Members Club, then just drop down. The join button is just below the screen. If you can't see that, depending on what device you're watching on, you can drop down into the description. There is a link there in the description as well to go straight to the members section. So make sure that you are on top of that as well, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who has become a member today. I love that and love all your contributions as always. I think we've suffered together this weekend, haven't we, guys? Like, it has been one hell of a weekend with the semi-finals and whatnot, but yeah, we will be back all the way through this week, guys. We are going to be on it. Obviously, tomorrow we're looking ahead to Sheffield United, like another game so quickly. Like, I don't know if many fans can take it. But yeah, we will be there, FUTV, usual, on Wednesday. And we're obviously back tomorrow, guys, as well. 12 o'clock, bringing you all the news as it happens around Manchester United. I've got a feeling this week is going to be a very, very busy one. An extremely busy one. And make sure that you are tuned in, your notifications are on, and you are ready to go, because I'll be on it straight away, guys. As always. And just telling you straight. And I know you guys love the content and love it this way. That's what it's all about. There's no bull. It's just honest opinion and getting your honest opinions back as well, guys. That's what it's about. Building the community and giving you guys a chance to voice your frustrations and angers. So if you are out and about, if you're watching the Sheffield United game and going to it on Wednesday, come and say hello. Come and have a go. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. No, just come over and say hi, and we'll get you on, and we'll get your voices out there for everyone to hear if that's what you want. But guys, yep, that is pretty much it for the show. Just as my screen seems to have had another complete and utter meltdown. But yes, make sure that you do give the video a like on the way out, people. Make sure that you are tuned in, notifications on and ready to go for tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you are tuning in for the first time. I love you all. Another fantastic show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And I'll see you all